What is up, and welcome back to 24 Minutes of A24, the podcast that takes a look at the A24 library 24 minutes at a time. I am Ethan Simi.
And I'm Ben Lawhorn. This week on the pod, we are talking to CGI parrots and trying to avoid death as we talk about the new movie Tuesday.
A mother and her teenage daughter must confront death when it arrives in the form of an astonishing talking bird. Ben, what's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, how are you? How you
I'm
doing?
great. I just got home from seeing Trap. You haven't seen Trap yet. I'm not going to spoil anything. But I had a really great time with Trap, so I'm feeling really good.
I'm very happy for you. This feels like it's been two solid M. Night movies for you this week. So one absolute classic that everyone's known about for 25 years and you just discovered, and then a new one that I'm glad you liked it.
Well, so here's the thing. So I watched The Sixth Sense. If you follow me on Letterboxd, you'll be seeing this journey. And many of the journeys that I am embarking on right now for the Movie Draft podcast, which is a lot of separate journeys. So I watched The Sixth Sense for the first time, and everybody was like astounded that I had only seen it for the first time. And so I told Molly, my partner, and I was like, I watched The Sixth Sense today. And she goes, "Did you know about the twist?" And I'm like, please, guys, give me some credit. And you also texted me the same thing. You were like, "Did you know about the twist?" Of course I know about the twist.
I mean, who hasn't seen it in the last 25 years? That's why we
this guy.
Well, I just love that you started your review with like, "Why didn't you guys tell me this was good?" It's like, what the fuck do you think he's been writing on for the last 25 years? It's been this one movie that everyone's like, maybe he'll do another Sixth Sense. And he never has, but maybe.
I needed like Heretic style. Like I needed people to come to my door and be like, "Listen, here's the Gospel of M. Night, and it's called The Sixth Sense, and it is really good, and you should devote your life to it." And I have basically decided to do that. Trap, not as good as Sixth Sense, but still very good. I had a delightful time. Your boy from your movie, Josh Hartnett from Oppenheimer. You're a big Oppie guy.
Huge. I saw it multiple times. I love that movie. So good.
I hate that you can claim that. I think that's bullshit, to be honest. I think you
can.
need to put a big asterisk by that.
I have the Steelbook. That's how much I love it.
You know what?
Physical media, baby.
I also have the Steelbook. Thanks, man.
That
Appreciate
is true.
you.
That is true.
Today we are talking about Tuesday. This is a semi-new movie from A24.
Yeah.
Apparently it released in limited fashion on June 7th of 2024 and went nationwide on June 14th. Now we're going to get into the movie. I do have a couple of housekeeping topics. Do you think those dates are real? Because I have not heard a single person on the planet mention seeing this film.
I've never heard anybody talk about this movie other than I saw Louis-Dreyfus on Seth Meyers because I like watching his show. And that's the only thing I'd heard about. And maybe that was in June. I don't know when she was on, but that's like, that was it. And I don't even think at that point I clocked it as an A24 movie. I was like, oh, this movie looks interesting, like weird, interesting, but all right, cool. That was it.
So let me just get this straight. The only time that you've heard somebody talk about this is from the main actress that stars in the film that was inevitably on a press tour for the film.
Once. Yeah. That was it.
one time.
It.
One single time.
I don't think I saw any commercials for it. I didn't see anything. Yeah.
Tough beat. I think there's a reason for that. I'll just let me put a pin in that. This is directed by Dana Onianis Pusik. If I'm saying that incorrectly, I apologize. This is their directorial debut, which is exciting. 1 hour and 50 minutes long, of course, does star Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Lola Pettigrew, and Arinze Keene. Kind of some other unknowns. I'm not quite sure if they've been in any other projects or not, but Julia Louis-Dreyfus, obviously a big pull. Just worked with Nicole Holofcener on You Hurt My Feelings, one of my favorite movies of 2023. It was really good film. We'll get into the film. I have a few housekeeping topics. A Teenage Dream series is coming to AMC theaters. We've had and are still having our A24 IMAX experience that's going on, I believe.
Yeah.
The month of August is
Everything Everywhere.
Is it Everything Everywhere? Oasis already passed, right?
Oasis was July, and I think Everything Everywhere is in August.
Are you planning to go see that? Are you going to catch it again?
I mean, I want to. I wanted to see all these, though, and I just haven't. Sometimes I just I just don't like it.
Yeah. I'd like to see Everything Everywhere in IMAX. I think, unfortunately, there was a lot of discourse around that movie, and during the entire Oscar season, and I probably watched it 4 times. So I feel like I'm good on maybe seeing it again. But also in IMAX, like, it's hard to pass up. Yeah. This series, not an IMAX. This is exclusively at AMC theaters. Every Wednesday in August, a different Teenage Dream, they're calling it, Dream film, is playing at an AMC theater. First, we've got 8th Grade on Wednesday the 7th, Mid-90s the next Wednesday on the 14th, The Bling Ring on Wednesday, August 21st, and Talk to Me on Wednesday, August 28th. What are your thoughts on this lineup? Because I've got some opinions.
I think it's interesting. It feels to me like Talk to Me is the real outlier. Like I was like, I don't think.
Do we know for sure that's like a high school thing? Am I misremembering? I mean,
yeah,
we know that she has friends.
I don't know that it's like a teenager movie. I guess I assumed they were like in college or I don't know what, but I don't think about their age, I guess, when it comes to that movie. Whereas the rest seems really focused around their age. Like 8th Grade is very much like it's literally in the title. The Bling Ring, we know they're all like high school kids. The mid-90s, we know again that they're all kind of like middle school, high school. They all seem in those movies to be part of the plot, part of the narrative is the age that they're in and the school. And then Talk to Me is just like not that to me, but I don't know. Like I love Talk to Me. It's like probably my favorite out of all those, but it's just like, oh, this is a real interesting fit here.
It kind of is an interesting fit. I'm a little surprised. I think Lady Bird is like the biggest, like, why didn't you put that in theaters? Kind of question mark here with this batch. I love mid-90s the most out of this batch. I'm still cold on the Bling Ring, but I haven't seen it a second time. I did, in fact, watch my second ever Sofia Coppola film, or I guess my third Sofia Coppola film Priscilla, the other day. Yeah. I've seen Priscilla, I've seen the Bling Ring, and now I have seen the Virgin Suicides, which if anybody's been waiting to watch that one for the last 25 years, it's a banger. You should do it.
Yeah. I love how much you're catching up on from 99. This is great.
8th Grade, okay. Like I said, Lady Bird, I think, is a big outlier. I think it was a really great time to redistribute I Saw the TV Glow. I know, like, we just got a physical release announcement. A24 is doing a special Blu-ray for it. I know it was just in theaters like a couple of months ago, but like, it's one of the best movies of 2024. Everybody's talking about it all the time. And I find it strange that you wouldn't take this opportunity to specifically put that back in theaters. Takes place during high school, 2 teenagers, and everybody loves that movie. Like, it just seems like you maybe should have taken, okay, not everybody loves that movie. I guess it should have taken advantage of that so I could see it again in theaters. Yes.
I mean, it's totally fair, but I think you've hit it on the head. It's just like it was just out. You know what I mean? Like all of these are, well, I guess Talk to Me is the most recent. Was that 2023? I guess.
I think so.
Yeah. The rest are like, obviously Bling Ring is like one of the first ones from A24. So it's cool to see that back in theaters. But yeah, I mean, your point's true. I think I Saw the TV Glow would fit in more than Talk to Me does. But yeah, it's so fresh. Did you order the Blu-ray?
I wanted to, and I clicked on the page, and then I was like, maybe I should take a beat because, like money and stuff. And I haven't got back to it. Did you order the Blu-ray?
Holding out, hoping someone gets it for a gift, That's what I'm waiting
So you want me to buy this for you as a present, is what you're saying?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. It'll just turn out like Indiana Jones. Well, you just own him, you'll never watch him.
Yeah, exactly. Or I'll just re-gift it and just like send it back to you and be like, hey, I got this for you too. It's crazy.
So, that would be really what we should be doing. I will inevitably buy it. I need it. I have to have that film. A couple other pieces of housekeeping. So there is an A24 press website, and I don't know if this is like publicly available or what, but I have access to this press website, and there are some dates on there that for movies that I've never heard of. We were just briefly talking off mic, and I just kind of wanted to throw them out into the universe so people have heard about them and let me know if they know about them. The reason I bring them up is because their dated is coming soon, which I would anticipate as a 2024 release. The first one is titled Parthenope. This is the description for this film. Parthenope, born in the Sea of Naples in 1950, searches for happiness over the long summers of her youth, falling in love with her home city and its many memorable characters. From Academy Award-winning filmmaker Paolo Sorrentino comes a monumental and deeply romantic story of a lifetime. Have you ever heard of this movie?
No, I've never heard of this at all. I have no
I don't think
clue
anybody
what to think about it. Yeah.
it sounds great. That's coming soon, so we'll see. Now you know about it if you've listened to this pod. Now we know about it. One other film like this called Architecton. I think two really great titles, by the way. Two really good like singular word titles. This one is an extraordinary journey through the material that makes up our habitat, concrete and its ancestor stone. Victor Kosakovsky? Yeah, okay, Kosakovsky raises a fundamental question. How do we inhabit the world of tomorrow? This sounds like a documentary to me about stone. I'm not quite sure where I land on that, but great movie title.
It is a very cool movie title. I looked at the dude on IMDb, and literally the first three words are documentary filmmaker. So yes,
well, there we go.
Probably a documentary. It seems like sometimes they sneak these on there. They're like, even now, looking back at the A24 film wiki, there are movies from just like, wait, what? Like I hadn't even heard of this, and this came out. So
I think like,
I don't know.
Do you remember Occupied City? I think Occupied City like played at New York Film Festival or something like that at the end of the year. And like nobody has seen it. It's a Steve McQueen film.
Steve McQueen, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Massive movie that just like never really got a push from A24. Really interesting stuff. That is an entire pod unto itself.
Yeah.
Y2K is officially dated for December 6th. I know we've spent a lot of time talking about this film. I saw it back in March at South by Southwest. It's been undated for a very, very long time. It might get changed. I don't know if this is like set in stone, but December 6th seems like a really fucking weird time frame to put out this movie. A directorial debut from Kyle Mooney featuring a lot of funny people and a movie that I thought was really quite poor. I don't understand the December time frame, to be honest.
And I don't understand you thinking it's poor. So, I mean, here we are.
Well, one of us has seen it and one of us hasn't.
That's true. That's
part of it.
I guess I'm being optimistic because I do love Kyle Mooney, but I have obviously no idea what it's going to be like. So, yeah, the release date's weird. This doesn't seem accurate, like a good idea, but I don't know, man. Sometimes A24's moves are super questionable.
In the heat of like what is primed to be like kind of a big Oscars year, I feel like we have huge movies. Of course, Joker Folie à Deux. We've got Conclave coming out at the end of the year. Like there are big movies coming out in November, December. Like we've got the Bob Dylan biopic that's supposedly coming out by the end of the year. Shit's happening. And so like I feel like it's weird to put like slide Y2K, but then again, on the other side of the coin, maybe that's the point. And I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly here. I am definitely colder on Kyle Mooney than you are, but like maybe that's the idea is like it gets buried in December and then we don't have to worry about it in 2025. I don't want to be that guy, but that's what I'm saying.
It's not, I wouldn't put it past them to do that. You know what I mean? So
this is true. I wouldn't put it past them to do anything, honestly. Okay. Any other thoughts on Housekeeping before we talk about Tuesday?
No, I'm actually excited to get into this movie.
Really? Okay, this is fascinating. So special for me on this episode because I watched the movie this morning. I have waited an entire 12 hours without logging it on Letterboxd, which is essentially cutting off the supply for myself. I need a hit, and I'm down bad right now because I wanted to log it immediately, but I didn't want to give people my thoughts. So I'm not going to log it on Letterboxd until this pod is out. So
wow.
That's my promise here for Tuesday. Take that what you will. I want to know what you thought of this movie, Ben.
Can I ask you a question first, though?
Of course.
Have you logged Trap?
I have logged Trapped. Yes. Yeah.
So you're okay to go out of order logging it. Like you're not going to hold off on everything else until you do Tuesday. You're just going to hold off on Tuesday.
That's the thing. I don't know if I'll be able to go to bed tonight without logging Tuesday because you're right. I am out of order, and like the OCD in me is like, I can't do this. Like there is a movie that in August that I have seen that the world doesn't know that I've seen. That's a problem. I'm going to try my best. I'm literally like, my heart is beating faster talking about it because I feel like we have a problem on our hands. I don't like being interrogated. Should I live Letterboxd it right now on the pod?
Right now. Yeah, exactly. You don't listen to what I say anyway, so just get on Letterboxd and start typing it up. I think
it's true. Yeah, once you start giving your thoughts on the film, I'll digress to Letterboxd world.
Yeah, it's like after I stop talking for 2 seconds, you're like, oh, okay, I think it's my turn. I guess.
Oh, got it. I'm back.
So, yeah, I guess Ben's done. So all right. Yeah, I like this movie, man. Like, I thought it was super interesting. I liked the idea behind it. I thought all the performances were really, really good. It's like it's a second week in a row where we've had a really minimal cast in a movie. I mean, we really only have 3 people, and then the parrot, which if I remember right from that Seth Meyers bit, that like the person that played it was there on set, like acting it out. So we kind of essentially have 4 characters there. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what I would think about it, because when I saw the one clip that got shared, I was like, oh, that looks weird, like I don't know. But I was totally into it. Again, Louis-Dreyfus, great performance. It was nice to see her be able to share her comedy. Again, like if like her, I don't know, we got some like physical comedy from her. The idea behind the movie is so interesting to me. Like I'm curious about the writer. Is the director, they also write the movie? Yeah, it looks like they did.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm curious what the I don't know what brought that up, what had that idea for them. But just seeing the way that like she took death away, and then like it took it away from the entire world. It's like, oh, that's so interesting to me. Like,
okay.
I never would have thought about that. It's just like, is this parrot like Santa Claus? Like it's the only thing that can like bring death to people, or are there multiples on different continents or countries? Like, was this just happening in England or, the UK? I don't know. Like it just brought up so many bigger questions for me that I thought was really interesting. And then how she was able to like almost absorb or just like reflect the powers that the parrot had by getting bigger and smaller. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. And I'm not a parent or anything, but I think they made it so relatable or, understandable that she would do anything she could to like keep her daughter alive, even if that meant trying to kill death. It's just like, no, I'll do anything. Like I'll burn it alive. I'll literally eat it. I'll just like smash it to shit with a book. Like I enjoyed seeing that side of it. Like, yeah, I guess as a parent, you do anything that you could. I enjoyed the daughter's relationship with death and just like coming to terms with it. Like when you're terminally ill like that, it's just like, it's going to come, but being able to have some peace and just like, let me at least just talk to my mom. Like, let me do that before I go. And with the care that she showed to death, like I love that scene where like hops in the sink and just like kind of cleans itself off, and then kind of learning to speak again in a sense, I guess, because it's spending time with someone who's actually like is kind of cares and wants to know, wants to connect. Whereas I'm assuming so many other people are just like, oh fuck, death's here, I'm gone, and that's it. So there's no reason to talk. So I liked the idea. I liked the story. I liked how it all unfolded. I don't know. I hesitate to say I had a good time with it, although there were some humorous moments, but the movie, it worked for me. I thought it was a really interesting and well executed idea.
I am so happy for you. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. And I am proud of us because this is a little bit of a sidebar, but I genuinely am proud of us for, it seems on a more frequent basis as of late, and I don't know if that's triggered by anything, but I'm proud of us for fundamentally disagreeing on movies, because this movie is shit. This is a terrible film. In my opinion. So I took your advice while you were talking. I typed on my Letterboxd review because I was like, Ben gave me the stamp of approval and I can live with myself now. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Innocent. That's my Letterboxd review. I did not like this film. And so this is interesting because I think it's worth mentioning. I think everything you said is accurate. I think it's a fascinating idea. But, and I don't know, this could fall one of two ways. So the thing with this movie is you kind of have to buy into what it's doing. Like you have to buy into the CGI parrot, right? Like you have to buy into how Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character feels about death and the individual journeys that all 3 of these characters have, because they all do. Tuesday, Zora, I believe is Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character's name. And then we have the parrot. Like they all interact with death differently, even though the parrot literally is death. And I just I did not buy into this at all. I thought it was quite like emotionally manipulative, and it felt really inauthentic. I totally understand the idea, and I do think the idea is worth something. Like exactly what you mentioned of like she'll go to any lengths to like get death away from her daughter, and she has her own relationship with death, and like so does Tuesday, and like death is its own character in person, and like learning how to speak and like the world being impacted. I do think those are all like things that are worth talking about and worth making a movie about. I just thought it was like quite poor. Like I don't know, that the tone didn't work for me. The scenes felt like continuously more like egregious in like the level of can you cry harder? And like it just didn't work for me at all. And I wanted more background for Zora. I wanted more kind of their funny moments that they had together. I feel like we didn't really get to explore that. There were just some things that that were left open-ended. So I also want to put a stipulation on this. I just got to rewatch Sing Sing again for the second time last night. Sing Sing, in my opinion, is a 5-star movie. So like a little bit of a preview for a few episodes from now. I cried from this first frame to the last frame. I might have just been like sadded out. You know what I mean? Where it's like, that was my sad movie, and like now I just like need to recoup, so I like don't buy into this sad movie. And so it could be like a victim of that. I don't know. I just like I was like dying literally for this movie to end. I was just like, this is not for me whatsoever.
You wanted the parrot to show up and just kill you so you didn't have to finish the movie. You're like, let's just end this all.
Ideally that would have been better. Yes.
That would have been a nice reprieve from watching this movie.
If he could just come out of the screen, wave his wing over me, just get this done with.
Like, let's just wrap this up.
That'd be great.
Yeah. It's so interesting because also like, I didn't cry once during this movie. Like this thing didn't, this wasn't like a tearjerker to me. This was like, so when you refer to it as like being emotionally manipulative, like it didn't hit me at all like that. Like I just really enjoyed these characters coming to terms, like you said, like with the different ways that they deal with death, with the daughter who's like, yeah, it's going to happen and it's happening for me right now, with the mom who's like, you know, that the whole speech she gives at the end of like, I don't know who I am without you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the world is like without you. So it was a purely selfish reason. It was like, yeah, that totally, again, I don't have a kid, but like that makes sense that you would have that love for someone where it's just like, I just selfishly can't lose you. Like you might be ready to go, but I'm not ready for it. So that's why I've been making these decisions. So I understood that was all super interesting to me. And I guess I get what you're saying. Like if it is, you know, if it feels manipulative, then that's definitely not going to work. But yeah, for me, it just like, it didn't hit me like that. Like some of it didn't necessarily work maybe as well as like, they intended. Like I didn't love like at the end, you know, when it's just like the parrot, as a parrot does, like repeating people, but like doing it in the exact voice, but it's like telling the mom, like, you know, repeating that conversation of like, I'll be fine. Like, you promise, I promise, like all that. It's like, man, I feel like there's a different way to do this. Like this way works, but I feel like the parrot could have just like, do you remember that conversation rather than just like going into it? But at the same time, you know, that final line of her just being like, you know, just realizing that she has to get on with her life, to me, that totally worked. But yeah, this is it's fun when we have different takes on stuff.
Yeah, I guess I just like the parrot came across as like really hokey to me. Like I understand that it is death, and I think maybe that is my problem, where I was just like, I was like 3 minutes into this movie and I was like, I get it. It's like a big analogy for how we manage death and what we think of death and how death actually is important. I get it. And like that to me is where I checked out. I was like, I got it. I got the message. Like I understand what you're doing here. And like this, like the parrot just isn't working for me. Playing Good Day by Ice Cube, just like not working for me in the slightest. I don't know. It just didn't work. So should we go into true cinema? Should we go through this movie? I'm really curious to hear our takes on different scenes.
We should. I just want to say, like, I feel like your review for this it sounds very similar to my review for I Saw the TV Glow, whereas like I was
That's
3
so
minutes in, you're like,
interesting.
yeah, I fucking get it. Like the analogy, I get it. Like, let's do something different here. And then I had to sit there for another hour and a half. Where I was like, God damn it, you guys, like you really hit it home, didn't you? And that sounds like that's exactly what you thought about this movie. I just love that we both had such wildly different takes on these movies.
The thing of it is, one of it's the masterpiece and the other one didn't even get promoted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude, like what? So this is an interesting question. I want to circle back to this. Like, why do you think, because you definitely enjoyed it far more than me. I think it's got like a fair critic score on, I believe it's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes right now. It's got like a 50-something% from audience, so a little bit mixed there.
Yeah, I think like 81 from critics or something like that.
Why the no promo? Like, why did this, and I feel like Janet Planet got more promo, but like still these kind of movies back to back, I feel like they kind of got like just rolled around and like pushed out on VOD.
Yeah, I feel like their promoting like department is someone who just runs their Twitter, because that's the only time I see them really promote anything is when they like retweet a critic's review of a movie. They're like, hey, look at this person said this about the movie. It's like, why don't you guys run a fucking commercial or something? Because like no one, like not everyone's on Twitter reading this shit. It's such a weird way to go about this.
It is so, and again, like conversation for a different time, but it's so fucking weird when you have movies like this and then you have Neon doing the absolute most with long legs and truly succeeding with long legs and the promotions that are happening there. I get it. They're completely opposite films, but like it is a fascinating social experiment of what is going on with A24. And I feel like in the next few months, maybe it might be worth having a complete episode dedicated to like the state of A24 and like what we're thinking as a distribution company, because like it seems like they're dropping the ball a little bit on some things. And I don't think this is the first time that it's happened. Okay.
Neon's catching up in the prestige, race here for sure, if they haven't surpassed them. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, I have two questions for you. We're gonna do True Cinema. What animal would you want to come and kill you?
Oh man.
Or I guess wave their, I don't know, whatever, feathers, beak.
I feel like it'd be
foot.
hard to be like super sad or anything like that with like something like a koala or whatever. It's like, oh, this is like a fun animal that's about to kill me. Like, I don't know.
That's that's kind of fucked up though. Like to be like, oh, one of the cutest animals on the planet is just in charge of death.
But I would hate for my last feeling to be feared if it's like a boa constrictor or something, it's like, oh shit,
anaconda style,
and I'm about to die. Yeah, exactly. It's like at least like I have this false sense of like, oh, this is a cute little thing, and then I'm out of here.
See, what I think would be interesting if it goes arachnophobia style. And when death comes, it's actually just a bunch of spiders that fill whatever space that you're in. And then it's a ton of tiny little spiders, kind of like Harry Potter. And then you get one giant spider that arrives and you're just fucking petrified. And then you die.
It's like the end of Enemy. Like that's just, it's
it
that
really
spider
is.
from that room.
Literally, let's do that.
Fuck, I'm done.
That'd be great.
Giant spiders here.
I don't know what animal I would want to come and kill me. I think I'm on the same wavelength as you. Like, I think I'd want a happy animal to be like, oh, this was nice. Like, it was a good run. Thanks for letting me off. So yeah, I feel like koala could do that. I don't know. I was going to pick sea turtle, but that just like doesn't seem logistically to make sense. I can't really get around. See, the thing about the parrot is it flies around. It makes sense.
I was gonna say you could literally outrun death if you had a sea turtle. You know what I mean? Like if you just keep running, like
what about like a guinea pig or like a hamster?
Oh yeah, exactly.
That'd be great. Slug, giant slug. Now we're talking. Okay, one other question. So we are obviously spoiling Tuesday. You kind of already mentioned it, but Zora, Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, basically absorbs the powers of the parrot and is able to turn small and turn big, and then has to go about doling out death. I had a very logistical question on this. She has no wings, as humans do. So how does she get to all of the death? Does she because we see her as a giant with Tuesday strapped to her back walking around. Is that how she gets all over London, Europe, wherever she is to dole out death?
I mean, it seems like the most effective way to do this. It does raise an interesting question of like, people who aren't about to die that see this giant woman, like, is that weird to them? You know, like if you're about to die and you just want the sweet relief of death, you're like, great, I don't care what you look like. Like, please let's end this. But if you're, you know what I mean? Like just some 24-year-old walking down the street, like, what the fuck? That woman's like 13 feet tall. Like, what the hell is happening?
Okay, this is another logistical question. Can people that are not about to die see death? I was under the impression that only the people that were about to die could see death.
But, well, I mean, the mom sees the parent and she's not about to die. So, I mean, maybe you have to be close to the person that's about to die. Maybe you have to be like intertwined or something. But yeah, I don't know.
It's a great question from a guy who didn't like a movie. You can really tell. Checked out on some parts.
Super checked out.
Okay. Yes. Interesting. I do find it fascinating that neither of us said I would like Julia Louis-Dreyfus to come and kill us. If you had to have a celebrity come and be the bearer of death, who would it be?
Nathan Fielder. just come let me know. You know what I mean? Like put up some elaborate plot or something like that, or I just like die at the end. I think that'd be great.
He would literally do it Tuesdays, like 10 more minutes, please. And he would come in and he'd be like, you have 10 minutes before you die. Here's what's going to happen. And then it would just be Nathan for you right in front of your death.
Exactly.
Well, that makes my answer a lot less fascinating. I was just going to say Anne Hathaway. Just come and, mother me out of here. That'd be great.
I was wondering how you're going to choose that. Like, how are you choosing her to take you out? But okay.
Just like hold my face, caress me, and just be like, Ethan, it's been a great run. And I'd be like, Anne, thanks so much. See you on the other side.
See you
later. Okay, let's true cinema this thing. First time that Tuesday meets the bird, meets Death, who just has the name of Death. I thought the subtitles had mentioned an alternative name, but I didn't write it down. I'm not sure if you caught on to that. So Tuesday meets the bird. We get the penguin story, and then she captures him. I have a couple of questions about this. So she seems to know that the parrot is Death right away.
Mm-hmm.
I find that interesting. In a movie that is obviously straining credulity because it's about a CGI bird, but like, how does she know that that's Death? Because, I was under the impression that Death was like a Grim Reaper. So why would she just think that a parrot showing up is Death?
Does it not communicate that it's like you're gonna die tonight? I mean, I don't know.
After they meet, I think like.
Oh, is that after?
Yeah, the very first time that the parrot shows up, she is like aware and she begins to immediately tell the penguin story because she knows she has to buy more time, which I found didn't work for me whatsoever. Penguin story, funny though. Great joke from Tuesday.
I like the penguin joke. That was really good. Maybe this is just like an alternate universe where they know that like Death takes the form of a parrot or something. Who knows?
See, too many questions. Bad movie. Too many questions.
Too many questions. Bad movie.
What makes Death get small? It's basically an analogy for like anxiety, right? Like the over encumbrance of the amount of people and responsibility that Death has to kill makes him go small because he can't like handle it.
Oh, interesting. I took it the other way where it's just like the anxiety or the stress is what makes him big. Like that's when he freaked out, is like when he got really big and stressed. And that's why when they're like, just breathe, calm down. Like that's when I got small, almost Hulk-ish. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're probably right on this one. I'll give it to you.
I mean, this happened after 3 minutes into the movie, so you were checked out anyway. So
exactly.
Who knows?
I don't know what was going on. Okay. Any other thoughts on this first time that Tuesday meets the bird?
No, I mean, I enjoyed the joke was great because I would want to do anything I could to try to buy myself some time.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Would you accept death or would you try to extend your life?
I would see if Death had seen Oppenheimer and be like, do you want to watch this a few times? So I could buy myself a couple days, I think, of just like throwing that movie on. So yeah.
Can we go 10 rounds of Oppie before I get out of here, please?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me finish on a high.
Let's focus on a different white man each time we watch this and then we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Fuck you, man. You're on a roll. This is terrible. You were tearing me down right now. Yeah. So of course the sink scene does take place kind of in this, beginning section where she offers to clean Death, and the bird kind of has a grand old time in the sink. I thought it was, but I don't know. I just didn't really like the scene. I don't know if you had anything to add to the sink scene.
Nope. I just enjoy how much you didn't like this movie. I think this is great.
Okay, next one I have the bullet point here is where they're in Tuesday's room, they're talking, and she plays Good Day by Ice Cube, or It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube for Death. Death knows this song. He raps it, he sings it. Great song. I can't imagine why a film like this would pay for the musical rights for such a banger. So I was kind of mad at the movie because I'm like, damn it, this is a great song. I thought this was extremely cringy to watch and terrible.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think to me, it just kind of lent to the fact of like death has been around forever. And we get that in a scene later on.
Oh,
it's like
interesting.
Talking about Elizabeth I and Jesus, like this parrot has been around forever.
Did you like it when the parrot mocked Jesus?
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was so good. Yeah.
I thought it was great too. I thought that particular moment was quite funny.
Yeah, I thought that worked. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's Ice Cube. It's Today Was a Good Day. Like, I guess if you've got it, like, play it. I think it's a good song. I don't know.
Thor Ragnarok style. Let's just pop it on twice.
Yeah, let's play it. 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
Then they proceed to vape together. Is this what happens? And basically Tuesday is like, don't worry, you get really paranoid the first time you smoke.
Yes, without a doubt.
If the bird has been around for as long as you claim it has, which Death obviously has been around, do you not think that Death has smoked weed before?
I mean, it's possible, you know, I guess it's like you could play dumb and be like, oh man, I've never smoked before. Do you want to like smoke me out right now? Like you could play dumb for sure. But yeah, I don't know. This also just feels like, to me, the takeaway is that like Tuesday is one of the first people to care at all about death. And so this is like some of the first interaction it's ever had with anybody. But yeah. Have you smoked in the past? Are you allowed to talk about this?
You want me to divulge that information?
Yeah, are you legally allowed to?
That's privy information. That's definitely for the Patreon. Back when we had a Patreon, and that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah,
all right, cool.
It was part of the After Dark movie draft podcast.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I will say I understand what Tuesday is saying because I have smoked in the past, and I only wound up paranoid. So I have a varied history. I will say,
cool.
But I do think. Next time we pod in person, whenever that may be, I think we take the Tuesday route. I think we spice things up a little bit, have a little bit of fun.
I think that'd be great. Yeah, let's do it.
Because if I didn't like this movie then, I'm sure smoking will make me truly appreciate Tuesday rewatch.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, she shows Death to her mom, Zora. Zora chases her around the room. Basically also understands that this is Death and doesn't want it around the house. And the parrot knocks Zora out. I thought actually some cool camera work here and kind of an idiotic play from Zora to be like, let me just chase this parrot around.
Yeah, for sure. These kind of scenes just made me think about, I guess, the skill of acting that these actors have, like to play off of nothing.
This is interesting. Yeah.
They think they did like a pretty good job of that, but it's hard. I can only imagine how hard it is to like pretend you're chasing something. Like even that opening scene where she has the fly or whatever, it's like, oh man, she's just like making all this up. Is this going to work or not? But yeah, it was kind of funny. They just knocked each other out.
I mean, no disrespect to the great actors of this film, which I could not act against. CGI, whatever, or make believe things, I'm sure. But I had the complete opposite reaction where I was just like, well, this is rather dumb. She's chasing nothing around the house, and I know that. And you know, Julia Louis-Dreyfus innocent. That's my take on the movie. Yeah, so they knock each other out. Then we get this really what I thought was a pretty good oneer through the house, following Death out of the house. And basically him trying to recoup. Zora follows Death, smashes him with a book, pours alcohol on him and burns him, tries to bury him. He starts to talk, then she eats him. It was at this moment that I officially checked out and thought this might be the stupidest movie I've ever seen.
Wow.
I
That's
feel
so interesting to me.
I could only be this honest with you, Ben. I could never be this honest with anybody else in the universe.
Would you eat death to save your family?
Absolutely not. You kidding me? Bones and feathers and all that other bullshit? Hell no.
Hell no. I can't
Get out of here.
Okay.
Death, you can have them. I'm not sticking that parrot in my mouth. And knowing that parrot is now alive in my stomach.
And just covered in dirt and burnt tequila. Like, yeah.
Ugh. Hell no. Bad idea from Zora. She needs to think through these plans.
She's not a thinker. She's not like you, you know? Unfortunately, she's not like you.
She isn't a thinker because she hasn't had a job in fucking forever, so she doesn't know what's going on in the world.
She's selling her Catholic rats or whatever they were.
Okay, that was pretty funny, actually. That was her playing with the rats was pretty great. Any takes on the smashing, burning, eating of death?
Yeah, and no, I mean, we just have polar opposite takes on this where it's like, yeah, you would do anything you could to protect your family. And you're just like, no, fuck no, there's feathers. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, that's true. I would not help them at all. We get this kind of like couch bit that I called it, where they're on the couch, they're playing this like guess the book kind of game. And then they get some time together. We kind of get this montage of them having time together, talking about Zora being on Tinder and are they going to fix the couch? And later on in the film, we also get something similar of them like reading a magazine together. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. I thought it was much in line with the tone of like, wow, this feels like really forced. That like, I just feel like something like this would have benefited the movie substantially if it was in the first 20 minutes of like, oh, I get it. I have a much deeper understanding of their relationship. And now I know why they feel the way they do about death. Not in the middle of the movie. It just felt a little like oddly placed to me.
That's fair. I think we could have seen something a little earlier because I don't see them together really for like the first 15 minutes or something like that. Like she's and selling her shit and sleeping on the bench and all that.
Really, the first time we ever get any interaction is when Death comes and Tuesday says, "Can I call my mom first?" And Death says, "Okay." She calls her and Zora does not answer. And like we don't know why. And I can understand that being like some narrative mystery of like, oh man, she has her own relationship with her life and death and how she deals with Tuesday. And like, I get that. But again, like it fell into that bucket of like, I got it. I get it. Like you're dealing with this on your own terms, but it just felt weird to me. Upstairs confrontation. This is when Zora starts to grow. The nurse comes back over and watches this magic happen and take place. I liked the idea of the upstairs confrontation. I thought that worked the most successfully in the film because it was like a world that Tuesday was not privy to, that Zora thought she was hiding to manage their lives. And it was a bad idea. What
was a bad idea? Like to take her up there?
No, like selling everything. Like,
gotcha.
I know that she's depressed and I know that she's challenged in how she is dealing with Tuesday. And she eventually comes around to that at the very end of like, okay, I got to get up and I got to do stuff.
Yeah.
But like, it just, I think Tuesday like was in the right on that. Where it's just like,
oh, for sure.
You fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. Like you shouldn't have done this, but then, puts together that this is the only way that she's been able to make money, which is understandable. But I thought this scene definitely worked. Brought some tension between the two of them after, all this montage of them hanging out and having fun and stuff. It's like, okay, cool. We get to kind of see Tuesday come to the realization of like what Zora's actually been doing.
Yes. What would you do if you started to grow into a giant human being?
Play basketball. I don't know. Get some money. Get that check.
Get that bag.
I don't know, dude. Yeah.
You got to go to Hollywood right away and you got to be on the silver screen.
I mean, you could, but those basketball guys, I mean, a walk-on contract's like $800,000. Like, great. I'll sit on the bench. Like,
I don't mind.
Yeah. Why not?
You would have to have your own bench, probably. It'd probably have to be made out of concrete.
That's true. Yeah.
You think a wooden bench could hold? How tall is she? 50 feet? 80 feet?
I mean, when she's in the house, I mean, yeah, she's probably like 20, something like that. Like, because she's hunched, she's like sitting down and touching the ceiling in the living room. Like, that's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got to be like 25 feet.
Yeah, but then later, when they're doing like the walk around and, putting other people at peace, she's probably like 50 feet tall. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I have several logistical questions that should not be asked. She kills the first guy in the tree. She says a prayer over this guy, and I do think the intention is interesting and worth note of like how he was like, thank you so much for coming around. I appreciate it. This is great. She looked a little hesitant on the killing front, and I would be too. I totally get that. But, you know, I think a good first round for her.
What do you think about the idea to leave him in the tree? Like, you know, because like someone's just got to get up there and get him. You know, like he's just trying to pass out up there now. He's dead.
Kind of an asshole move, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not like she could have just extended her hand and be like, let me help you down to the floor.
Yeah,
you know?
Let's put you on the ground so it's easier for the people that have to take care of you instead of just.
So there's this dead guy just rotting in a tree now.
Yeah, in a park. It's crazy.
Jesus Christ. Problems, dude. Problems everywhere. But you know, easy. What did you think of the whole thing with the flies and the whole idea that like death was gone and so death was impacting the world?
I really liked that. Like that was super effective for me because it's just it kind of helped explain or let people know like we need this, you know, as much as like people don't want it and people are afraid of it, like myself included. Like that's one of my biggest fears ever. But it's like it's a necessary part of life, unfortunately. And you can see why, you know, if you take it away, you just have, like I said, zombie cows, and we see a guy like walking or like crawling across the street with no legs or anything like that. It's like, yeah, for some people, this is they need to be put out of their misery.
That also like just didn't work for me at all. I was like, oh, cool. We're doing like Shaun of the Dead for 30 seconds. Sick. Like, I don't know. I got two more scenes here.
Like zombies in England. Like, I guess we're doing Shaun of the Dead now. Okay, got it.
Dude, look, it's not my fault that I want to watch a better movie. You know, that's where my mind goes.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do? I got two more scenes. We got the beach scene. This is where Zora has a conversation with Tuesday and basically makes a deal. The same kind of deal that Tuesday made with Death, she makes with Death, and has to say exactly what she's feeling to Tuesday. They have a conversation. And then she kind of like death comes up and out of her, and now they have parted ways and they're kind of like on their own journeys again. Yeah, that scene, it's a scene in the film and it happened.
Have you peed on a beach?
Have I peed on a beach? That's a great question. No, I don't think so.
Have you
peed on a beach?
No, I haven't peed on a beach.
I've peed on a campfire. That's for sure.
Okay. Help put it out.
Yeah, help put it out. You know, back when I was a young burgeoning boy.
That's fair.
But not in my adulthood, I would say. I've never peed in the ocean. I am definitely pro ocean conservation. I don't think pee helps there.
Yeah, I mean, you should tell the whales that you gotta cut it out. Stop peeing in there, you guys. Come on.
Enough, guys. No more. Not in the ocean. And then we get kind of the very end. Tuesday dies, and then we get this moment with Death and with Zora on the bed, having the conversation like you mentioned, kind of recalling that Tuesday's afterlife is the memory that Zora leaves for her and those last moments, asking Death to take her because she doesn't know where her life is. And then Death goes away and she is like, okay, I got to do something. Again, like, I don't know. I thought it was a pretty unsuccessful and really hokey way to go about navigating this idea of death. It just didn't work for me personally.
I mean, it's understandable. I think the core of this is that it is a film starring women. We understand how you feel about women. I think it's what we all get now. God fucking
damn it. Caught again, red-handed.
We get it. Yeah, I don't know. This was the exact opposite for me, where it's just like, I think her final line is "Get up, woman," where she's just like, "Yeah, I have to live my life. You know, that's what I told my daughter I would do, and it's what I need to do." It was super effective for me.
Yeah, I do like the fact that Death was a man. Shout out, guys, bringing death wherever they go.
Hell yeah.
God, I gotta be careful with this bit. I feel like I'm getting close. I'm getting close to the coals on this one.
Yeah,
Somebody might be tuning in and being like, God, fuck this guy. He doesn't like women. Yeah. What's wrong with this guy? But generally, no. Movies with women, not my thing. My true cinema moment is the very beginning when she's making the Catholic mice talk to each other. I thought that was really funny stuff. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus, just innocent in this film. She did great with what she was given, and it wasn't great what she was given, but she did great.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. She was great. I can't deny that. She was fantastic. I really enjoyed Tuesday Taking Care of Death. The little sink bath thing was really kind of cool to see, and just seeing them like build their connection. I enjoyed that.
I'm really happy for you. Genuinely, I really am. And I'm a little upset that I didn't enjoy this movie more, and I feel bad that I'm coming across as a mean guy, but sometimes it has to be done. And I think that's just the life that I've been given. Death is probably waiting for me after this pod is the problem.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
A1X. We're going movies with talking animals. Mm-hmm. This is interesting. I feel like there's a lot out there that might not be on our list, and you made this list, and then we immediately jumped into recording, so I didn't get the chance to come up with any heaters, and I feel offended. I feel like you took advantage of me.
Well, I just want you to know that it was fully intentional. So you're right.
You know that I can't think as well as you can on my feet. Okay, we got Tuesday, of course. Babe, Paddington, The Jungle Book, Homeward Bound, the Planet of the Apes films, Dr. Dolittle, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Stuart Little, Isle of Dogs, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shrek, Lion King, Ratatouille, The Chronicles of Narnia, Madagascar, Cats and Dogs, and Zootopia. Can I ask you quickly, did you ever watch Cats and Dogs as a kid growing up?
I did not. I have missed out on that.
You know, they're like spies, and they have a whole world where like the dogs are spies and they hate the cat spies, and it's a whole thing.
Okay.
I thought it was great when I was like 7. So I don't know what that means, but it was a fun time back then.
Would you watch that again before rewatching Tuesday?
1,000,000% yes.
Okay, fair enough.
I can tell you right now, without having seen that movie in 20 years, it's better than Tuesday. Man, I feel like I'm being really mean to you. Okay.
You're not at all. I appreciate your takes. Like it's like refreshing to hear someone be so confident and wrong. You know what I mean? Like it's nice to be part of it.
Not since I saw the TV Glow has anybody been more wrong and confident about a take than I.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I need to think for a second because I was duped on this list. Are you going to pick one?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you the one that I left off that I was glad you didn't think about?
Well, yeah, please, because I haven't had a moment to think. I've been just totally consumed by poor film.
It's a recent one that did make me cry multiple times, and it's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
God damn it.
We got some great talking animals in that movie, and it kind of wrecked me, all the rocket stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed that movie quite a bit.
Yeah, again, I'm stoked for you on that one. Really happy for you. Go check out the MCU collaborative ranking on the Movie Draft Pod. Hear me be the bad guy again and again and again on that take. Look, I'm going to go with... So how does it go? It goes Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes. Is that correct?
Yeah, for the new ones, that sounds correct.
I'm going with War for the Planet of the Apes. I thought that movie fucking ripped. I thought it was
so
great.
Good.
Caesar is just like an all-timer movie character. On a less serious note, I do think it is worth shouting out the live-action Scooby-Doo films, especially the one that takes place on the island. I don't know what that one is called, but that was pivotal to my childhood. And then Hocus Pocus, Thackeray Binks, the cat.
Oh, yeah, the talking cat.
That's worth a shout. I think it's an okay movie, but it's worth a shout.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm usually anti-talking animals in movies, I would say. Not really my bag.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not super into it. That'll make one of our upcoming drafts a lot of fun for you next year. It's going to be great.
Super stoked. Can't wait.
Super stoked.
Talking animals. That's my thing.
Hell yeah.
A24 ranking. I'm going to let you go first.
I am going to give this a B plus 24.
Wow. That's remarkably high.
Yeah. And accurate. Yes. I thought you thought I was going to give like an A, something like that. So yeah.
No. I thought you were going to veer towards correct. Gosh, can I do it? I think I've only ever given out one of these in the past. Can I do it? I can do it. I'm giving it an F24.
Okay.
I thought it was really just not a good movie. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I've talked about it for going on 45 minutes now. If I take out all of our housekeeping, and I'll never think about this movie again. Thank God.
I'm going to keep reminding you of this movie. I'll never let you forget it.
Every week you should be like, remember that time we talked about Tuesday? What
remember
a great
Tuesday?
flick.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
The movie that nobody else on the planet has seen. God. Well, speaking of planets, next week on the pod, we're talking about Janet Planet. I feel like we've pushed this out a couple of times and listeners are probably getting mad, but we are telling the truth this time. We're being accurate. We own it almost on VOD. We're going to buy we're going to buy it and we're going to watch it and we're going to talk about it. Yeah. I'm excited. I've heard good things about it.
We're going to be on a 3-week run of moms taking care
moms
of
and kids.
Moms and kids. And maybe the kids not making it out at the end of the movie kind of situations. Tough
beat for the pod. But I will say after Janet Planet, we've got The Rover, which is Robert Pattinson and I think some guns. So I think we're gonna course correct.
I'm excited for that. That'll be good.
Janet Planet is another film featuring women though. So 3 weeks in a row on that too. Tough.
So you're starting at like an F, and you're like, you got to earn your way up. You got to
earn your way up. You got to move up the ranks.
Well, if you're one of the dozens of people that have seen Tuesday, let us know what you thought about it. Are you more on the F24 or the B+24 side of things? Obviously, Julie Louis-Dreyfus, innocent. Always.
Of course. Always. Thank you.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think. We're on Twitter and Instagram at 24 minutes of A24. We're also on YouTube where you can see us talk about these movies and disagree about these movies.
In a very civilized manner, might I add. I feel like, I feel like we do a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. I was just trying to bite my tongue on some stuff, but yeah, I think it's good.
What? Am I being mean, Ben?
No, you're not being mean. I enjoy oh yeah, she's in this room and I realize that there's not actually a bird there that she's chasing around. It's like, you realize there wasn't actually like an atomic bomb in Oppenheimer, right? Like that wasn't real. That was just like,
it was real for me. It was real for me.
That's totally fair. So anyways, come listen to us talk about these imaginary movies on YouTube. Thank you, everyone, for your support. We really appreciate it. I am Ben Lawhorn.
I'm Ethan Civey. Spring break forever, bitches.